Hello, everyone. This is Edwin Lau from the local green organization, the Green Earth. I'm going to share with you an important topic, which is about invisible resources. And we talk about energy and water. Now, energy and water are the key resources human beings needed for our survival. And look at this map showing you that in some places in the world, such as in Africa, people living there, many of them did not have access to electricity or energy. Worldwide, there are 1.1 billion people who do not have access to electricity. And then water. Actually, water crisis is the fifth global risk. And worldwide, we have over 770 million people lack of access to safe water. Now look at the electricity production in the world right now. Most of the electricity produced by fossil fuel, which is coal and gas, and they emit greenhouse gas, carbon dioxide. And using clean renewables such as wind and solar, it is still at a relatively small percentage, about 10%. And this graph will show you the major emitter of greenhouse gas. You can see China, United States, India. The three are the top three greenhouse gas emitters in the world, followed by Russia and then Japan, Germany. And because the world, we release a lot of greenhouse gas, and then it increased the global temperature because you can see the graph is the atmospheric carbon dioxide concentration keep on rising. And it is now staying at about 418 parts per million, which is a very high level compared to the pre-industrial level, which is about 280 parts per million. So temperature rise is about 1.2 degrees Celsius. So it brings extreme weather to different parts of the world. Heat waves, such as this last year in Canada, the temperature rise to about nearly 50 degrees Celsius. And polar ice cap keep on melting, and you can see the Greenland mass of ice is decreasing. And wildfire or bushfire happen in different parts of the world, such as this is the Amazon rainforest, Central and Southern Africa. At the same time, flooding happens in China, Southeast Asia, and in Europe, in Germany. And at the same time, droughts happen in many parts of the world. This is one of the reservoirs in Hong Kong. Last year in May, the reservoir nearly get all dried up. And drought also happen in different parts of the world. Now, extreme high water stress is darker red. You can see here in Asia, India, Australia, and northern part of Africa also have severe water stress. Now, due to these extreme weather conditions and the crop yields decline or decrease. So in the world, we have over 800 millions of people are in starvation. They do not have access to enough food and nutrition. So you can see Africa is the area or the places hit very seriously. And the world, almost 400 nations neither got together in 2015, and they all discuss and then agree to reduce greenhouse gas emission. And this is the famous Paris Agreement, design the agreement and cut the greenhouse gas and trying to make the world carbon neutral. So Hong Kong, back to Hong Kong here, government last year, which is after 5 years, they launched the Climate Action Plan 2050, which they said commit Hong Kong to become carbon neutral before 2050. So what is the climate threats Hong Kong is facing? You look at this picture showing the flooding happens in Tai O, Hang Chin, when Typhoon Heatwave hit Hong Kong a few years ago. Also, it's showing that the strong wind that took down many trees in the urban area and as well as in our countryside. And you can see the temperature increase since our record began in 1884. Hong Kong also have the similar temperature rise as the global increase, also by about 1.1 to 1.2 degrees Celsius. So the other issue, the other resources is water. So in Hong Kong, roughly we use 130 liters of water per person per day. But this is one of the promotion of washing our hands by the government back in 2020. You can see that this is a very wrong advocates that when you rub your hand with the soap, you should turn off the tap to reduce the wastage of water. Now, if you take a shower for 5 minutes, you will consume about 100 liters of water. And in a day, bathing use about 40% of our daily water consumption, which is quite a large percentage. So if you can limit or shorten your shower time, it will help save this finite resources. And for Hong Kong, we have about 15% of our water being leaked because of the leaking pipes in the private places and also in the public places. Now, we need to understand every product we use or food, that is the water footprint, because you need to grow cotton and produce the cotton and then to make, say, such as a t-shirt or a pair of jeans. And you can see for a cotton t-shirt, we use 2,500 liters of water. For a pair of jeans, it's even more, about 8,000 liters of water. For food that we consume, then you can see, for example, a kilogram of beef we produce, we need to use over 15,000 liters of water, quite a lot. And for a kilogram of corn, we only use 900 liters. So you can see big difference. If you use just water from the tap, then it is the same. 1 liter is the same. But if you use or if you consume bottled water, then you will consume 5 times of water to produce 1 liter of bottled water. So you can choose the low water footprint food stuff to help save water. So you can see the data from the water supply department that now water collected for our reservoirs since 2016 has a drop, quite serious drop. But our water consumption over the years is keep on rising. And since the outbreak of the pandemic, we have used a lot more water than before. You can see it is quite historic record. And Dongjiang, where we receive about 70 to 80% of the water from Dongjiang, it last year experienced the most severe drought since 1983. Now, a couple of years ago, I went there, Dongjiang, it was full of water. Last year, the water level has gone down very, very much. Energy. So we use energy every day, but where are the sources of energy? Now, Hong Kong, we use energy for electricity generation. Mostly we use in few years ago, we used a lot of coal, but now we have reduced the percentage of coal by increasing the percentage of natural gas and then nuclear. Renewable energy is rather low percentage. Say we only have this wind turbine. Those small one I don't consider. And on the water, this is not a wind turbine, but only a wind monitoring station. For fuels for transport, we mainly use fossil fuel. These are all fossil fuel. And say if you use electric vehicles, you thought, oh, I don't use fossil fuel. No, this is not. The charging for the electric vehicle is also using the electricity from the power company, where they still use fossil fuel. That means the emissions of greenhouse gas is shifted to the power companies. And the carbon footprints of Hong Kong, you can see large percentage, 66% is from the power generation for electricity, 18% for transport, 7% from waste. But one thing we didn't count by the government is our consumption. Now, government count those three parts is about the production base. If you count our consumption, that we have 62% of our carbon emission is from international imports. That is the estimation by University of Hong Kong. The carbon footprint of Hong Kong people, well, today is about 4.5 tons per person. And the government say that we need to reduce by about 50% by 2035 and down to zero by 2050. So perhaps we use our energy wisely? Not really. In summertime, we open the door and the aircon, the cool air will escape from the doors, and we are not really wisely use our energy. And you thought LED panel is not really energy consuming? No, this is not true. It consumes a lot of energy and also create light pollution. And some indoor environment usually determine set the air temperature to be too low. 20 degrees Celsius in the summertime, indoor environment is too cold. And this is one of the university classrooms. And you can see it turned the thermostat to a rather low setting, right? And our building is not very energy efficient. You can see the solar heat gain will shine into the environment, indoor environment, to heat up the indoor environment, and we need to use more heavy aircon to cool it down. So a lot of rooms to improve. And don't forget about the embodied energy and water of all our consumption. Garment, electronic gadgets, food we eat, they all have embodied energy and water. So the latest United Nations IPCC climate change report tells us that the world is really going to breach the 1.5 degrees Celsius safe global temperature threshold by the early of 2030s. So between 2030s and 2040s, this decade, and we will soon break the 1.5 degree safe threshold. So the UN Secretary reminding the world that we need immediate and strong actions to reverse the trend. So the world, to become carbon neutral, we need to be precisely to do actions on energy efficiency. We need to change the use clean energy, and human beings we need to be a responsible consumer. And if we are seriously in doing that, we can help the world to limit our temperature rise and change the world situation, and then we can become carbon neutral by the middle of the century. So thank you for your kind attention. Thank you.